Hi everyone, my name's Ian Collins, Managing Director of SafetyCoach.com and consultant with Fisher Improvement Technologies. And I'm very happy to be joined by Rob Fisher, President and Director of Operations for Fisher Improvement Technologies, and Rachit, Jain, Managing Director of Safelanes. And we'd like to have a little discussion about some of the things that are upcoming in the maritime industry, some of the needs and the challenges coming up and how we might be able to address them with human and organizational performance. So I'd just like to hand over to Rob and maybe just a bit about yourself and Fisher Improvement Technologies, Rob, if you wouldn't mind.
Thanks, Ian. I appreciate you having me. Well, my name's Rob Fisher. I own a company called Fisher Improvement Technologies. We've spent the last 30 years helping organizations and individuals understand how and why people make mistakes, especially mistakes that can prove to be catastrophic, and how you can do one of three things with those mistakes. You can prevent them, you can reduce their probability, or you can mitigate the consequences. I got my start in nuclear power, helped develop the human performance standards for the U.S. nuclear industry, and then moved out into heavy industry in about 1992. So we've spent a lot of time helping understand human factors, human performance, human element, human and organizational performance, whatever you want to call it, related to how humans do things in the workplace and how they see and manage risk. We've deployed over 300 times in 40 different countries in 10 different languages. So I appreciate you having me on, Ian, and we look forward to this partnership.
Excellent. Thank you, Rob. And maybe to hand over to Rachit, again, Managing Director of Safelanes. Rachit, maybe a bit about yourself and a bit about Safelanes.
Sure. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for the brief introduction. And just to add on, Safelanes has been in the industry since 2014. And we have been one of the pioneers in delivering audits and basically marine quality assurance services within shipping industry. Some of the services we include are audits, inspections, incident investigations, VDRs, trainings. And now with the Fisher Improvement Technologies, we have taken our services to the next level, whereby we have added the human factor in all our service offerings. Myself, Rachit Jain, a master mariner, been with the shipping industry over 2.5 decades. My past experience has been with ExxonMobil, BP, and now over 7 years working with Safelanes.
That's great. Appreciate that, Rachit and Rob. And very exciting to have this partnership developing and the ability for Safelanes to be able to utilize Fisher Improvement Technologies suite of services to really address the human element and human factors, again, whatever you'd like to call it, human organization performance in the shipping and maritime industry. So, Rachit, what is coming up, and what are some of the sort of needs present right now in maritime that this it makes this even more relevant now than ever before?
Well, Ian, what I feel is that within shipping industry, it is now has been recognized that there is very much need to focus on human element. And this is something which is very much evident from any new publication which is being released in the industry. And not even that, one of the, in the oil and gas industry, the OCMF, which is one of the governing body, they are giving a lot of focus on human factor, and they are also working on introducing one of the new element in TMSA, which is a tanker management self-assessment, which I believe by beginning of next year should be out as element 14 of and I think it would be termed as a human element, which would give a very good indication and guidance to all tanker owners and operators on how they can embark and incorporate the human element within their organization. And this is something which we have already started working on. And with Fisher Improvement Technologies, we have already started incorporating human factor within all our services, including audits, inspections, incident investigations, and not even that, in our trainings as well, which includes like risk assessments, incident investigation course, which we are delivering. So in all these segments, we have already started incorporating the human factor. And I believe that this is something which would be very much, there is a need and will show a very big impact in the overall performance of ship vessels within the shipping industry.
Wonderful. That's great. Really appreciate that, Rachit. And exactly like you say, we look at the actual science of it, 90% of events are caused by something other than just the individual. So if we're just focused on that individual, we might fix the problem for now, but if we fix the system, we fix it for good. And that's ultimately what we're doing with human and organizational performance. So maybe Rob, you can speak to how can sort of the human factors be leveraged through the science-based understanding of human error to meet some of the upcoming challenges and upcoming needs in the maritime industry.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Well, first of all, you have to give credit to the industry for recognizing that they want to move in a direction where they really understand what's happening in incidents so that they can start to prevent them. And one of the things that we bring to the table is, 30 years of the mistakes and the successes of doing that in organizations. So by using things, Rachit used the task-based system, the WITH model, the essential leadership cycle. There's no reason to go out there and try and reinvent the wheel because all those mistakes and successes have already been made and done. So when you wrap it in the science, it becomes hard to argue with. So we frame all of our technology in both the science of human error and in the practical application of the potential to reduce it, mitigate it, or prevent it.
That's brilliant. Very good. So in terms of new regulations addressing the human element, identifying human error as either a cause or a consequence within analysis, what are some of the offerings available to companies to really address these challenges and needs?
As I mentioned now, most of the publications do talk about human factor, but still in the industry, companies are not very clear what exactly is the expectation. Now, OCMF is working very strongly in this direction, and there is a draft which is, I won't say it's officially available, but they are working, and very soon there will be one new element which would be coming in TMSA. Now, this is mainly for the tanker industry, but can be used in all segments of shipping. Now, that new element would be focusing on human element, and that is one of the key change which would bring in the human element within the shipping industry, which will give very clear guidelines to shipping industry how they can incorporate and embark upon on this human element.
Excellent.
And if I could just add to that, my reading of all the different materials that the maritime industry is using or possibly going towards, they tell you what you need to incorporate, but not how. And that's the difference in what Safelanes is going to be doing. Is the what gets you a little ways down the road, and the how gets you a long ways down the road. So how do I incorporate that into my incident analysis? How do I incorporate that into better procedures? How do I incorporate that into my current systems and processes, or what we call integration, as opposed to, okay, make sure leaders know how to lead. That's not enough.
Well, I've come to understand as well, Fisher Improvement Technologies and Safelanes have an upcoming webinar series that really addresses the human element in the maritime industry. November 24th, 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time is going to be the first one. So we'll post a link to this in the text alongside this video or audio, or however you're listening to this. And I'd just like to thank Rob Fisher, Fish Improvement Technologies, Rachit Jain from Safelanes, and for everyone who's watched or listened to this. Thank you for your time.